All right, guys, well, I'm back today with a new entry into the red dot market from EoTech. This is the brand new EoTech EFLX, and it's their first go at a micro red dot for a handgun, and they really knocked it out of the park with this one. There are so many red dot options, and I'm always reviewing high value and budget options, and this one is more of a top tier or premium option, yet it comes in at a pretty affordable price compared to some of its competitors. This one generally sells for $389, and Optics Planet has it on sale for $369. Then I've got the code 704TAC for 5% off your Optics Planet order, dropping the price down even more, really close to about $350-ish, and that's what we're going to call it. Now, Optics Planet sent this out to the channel for us to try out, so a huge shout out to them. Before we get too far into the review, I want to give also a big shout out to Callaway Ballistics for donating the 9mm ammo to help make this video. If you're unfamiliar, Callaway Ballistics makes some new man and remanufactured ammo at incredibly affordable prices, as well as subsonic ammo in both 9mm and 300 blackout, and their 9mm subs are super affordable, and they're some of the cleanest and quietest subs I've ever shot. Definitely check them out. I also have a code 704TACTICAL for free shipping on ammo orders over $200, and I ran a ton of them through this handgun to really prove out this new EoTech. I've taken it to the range multiple times, and I can say I am thoroughly impressed. Now, why would you want to spend the money on this when I've reviewed so many good budget optics right around that $200 price? Why would you spend the extra $150? Well, there are some people out there, and I don't blame them. They only buy US made or US assembled products, and when it comes to micro red dots, you're kind of left with Trijicon. I think that's about it. Maybe some other companies are making them, but I'm not aware of any that I reviewed other than the Trijicon that are made and assembled in the USA. So this is another option. Now, this is assembled in the USA. I'm not sure where all the subcomponents are produced at, but this does give a lot of manufacturing credence to this optic. So I'm glad to see that they've brought the assembly over to the US for this optic. Right off the bat, one of the first things I want to discuss is the mounting footprint, and it fits the Delta Point Pro. Why? I have no idea why they picked that. There's not a lot that fit that right out of the box, especially when you're talking about the Palmetto State Armory dagger line that's come out and really blown away the Glock market, or a lot of other cutters out there or custom manufacturers are cutting their Glock slides or other pistol slides either in the Doctor cut that fit the Vortex Venom and things like that, or they're cutting it in the RMR style cut, which fits the Trijicon RMR, the Hollow Sun. So I don't know why they selected the Delta Point Pro, but if you have plate adapters like this Glock MOS Gen 5, then it's going to drop right on, no issues whatsoever, and that's about literally my only complaint with this optic. Now, this one has a 20,000 hour battery life, and you may wonder why it's got a 20,000 hour life versus the Holotun's 50,000 hour battery life. Well, this doesn't have a solar panel, and it's constantly on. It never turns off. So it doesn't have an auto on and auto off feature. It's just always on, and that is perfectly fine with me. I don't want to fumble with buttons, and I'm not going to turn this off. I'm going to continuously leave it on, and this is perfect for personal defense or competition use. You never have to worry about turning it on or off, and it lasts about 20,000 hours at setting 5, which is plenty bright. It also has night vision settings, and it gets incredibly bright during the day, and we'll turn it up to show you guys so you can see how bright this optic gets. The next thing you'll notice is it gets insanely bright, but there's no greenish hue. When we're talking about competition, when we're talking about some of the higher end Hollow Suns or some of the Trijicons, you will notice some edge distortion and edge coloration, especially with the Trijicon. This one has much clear glass and a better sight picture than the Trijicon, so it already beats that out in my opinion. It also gets insanely bright, and the window is rather large, allowing it to be perfect for competition, but not overly large that it's too big to carry for concealed carry. So I absolutely love the window size, the brightness, and the crispness of the dot, and the overall operation is incredibly nice as well because it's got that push button design on there. Now, one thing to note, a lot of times when I rack the slide, I'll grab it like this, and you can accidentally push the down button. So while I was racking the slide a few times, I went to go pick up the dot, and you can see how dim it is. That's because I was hitting that button. So something to consider. Just a personal preference there. When I grab the slide, now I grab underneath the slide and rack it right there, and that avoids me hitting that button, but something to consider when you're picking up this red dot. It seems incredibly well built. right out of the box when you pick this up. It's definitely a more beefy optic than some others, but it's still streamlined where it's not overly large. I think they've found an impressive balance between a tough red dot but not overly large to kind of get bulky or in the way. I love it. I absolutely love this red dot, and hopefully I'll get a chance to try different variations that they produce in the future. I know EoTech is not going to be watching my videos. I'm just not that big compared to some other channels out there, but I don't know why they selected the Delta Point Pro footprint. It really eliminated it from about 80% of my handguns, and I had to resort to pulling out a Glock MOS to try this out for the test and evaluation. So something to consider when you're purchasing this red dot. If you do have a Glock or a Glock MOS or a handgun with a plate system that does have the Delta Point Pro, this is a solid option. In my humble opinion, right? I would pick this up over the Trijicon. You're also going to save yourself about $100 over the Trijicon. Now, I know it's proven for a very long time, so that may be hard for people to shake, but after trying both of them, I like the way this feels, looks, and pretty much handles better, except for that footprint, which is pretty darn frustrating. Hopefully they decide to make it a different footprint in the future, or maybe PSA and other companies will start offering the Delta Point Pro footprint now that this new EFLX is out. I can highly recommend it. I really like it. I think you will too. If you want to fork up the extra money over some of the Holosuns and things like that, this is a good assembled in the USA option. Now, am I going to be completely scrapping out all of the other red dots I've used? No, there's a place for those in every single arsenal. This is just a nice kind of high value yet high tier option for those guys who want a USA optic with a nice list of specs and features. Thanks for watching, guys. Have a good one.